We're joined by head coach Bob McKinnon, senior guard Cameron Oriel, and grad student forward Dalton Gaiman. Coach will start with an opening statement. They'll open the floor for questions. Coach.
I thought we had a fantastic effort tonight from our entire team. Guys that came off the bench, Trey, Dante, and Devin, they were each plus. They gave us a great lift. Mason Lee was fantastic. He goes 1 for 6. He's 0 for 3. 30 minutes. He's disappointed. We're plus 18 when he was on the floor tonight. And I don't know what else I can say about these. The gentlemen to my right and to my left. They have been consistent all year long. They have come to play. They performed. They produced all year long. No matter what we've asked them to do. We made a switch earlier in the year to bring Dalton off the bench, and I think he's the sixth man of the year in our conference. Like he's been absolutely fantastic, and I'm hoping others recognize what he's done for us. Again, anything he needs to do, unselfishly, like he defends, he rebounds at a really high rate. This is the first time. This is our largest deficit that we've overcome all season long, and it was great to have a second half and finish. I think the biggest difference in the game tonight is we had 11 turnovers in the first half. We were struggling offensively. We had 0 in the second half. We had 0. In this team, we're talented enough. If we'll just keep moving the ball, not turn it over, and get shots, the ball's going to find the right guys at the right time, and we're going to be able to score. But we were able to do that because they were connected, they played together, and they continued to believe in each other. And we've talked all year long, like some of this. The path hasn't been smooth, that's for sure. But we're closing in on March, and we have a chance to continue to write our own story. The pen's in our hand, and hopefully, we're gonna come out here, learn from what we did tonight, get ready for JU tomorrow, finish the season strong in front of our great home crowd, which they've been all year long, and get a little bit of momentum going into the conference tournament.
Coach, you mentioned Mason Lee there. One of the biggest plays of the game had to be his offensive rebound with a little over a minute to go. What's your assessment of that?
I mean, he's made winning plays for us all year long. I mean, Mason's 6'5", 6'6". He's the, I think, 4th leading rebounder in our conference in conference play. But he had a big rebound, and sometimes it gets a little bit blurred for me. Is that the one where BJ hit the 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those coaches. Hey, pull it out. Attaboy, BJ, way to go. Way to go. I think he just did a tremendous job of knocking that shot down. But again, it's at the end of the game, it comes down to creating extra possessions, maximizing possessions, and it was huge for us.
Yeah, Coach, how big is it, to come through in the second half, after those close losses, in this 5-game losing streak, and potentially closing the season out with a winning streak heading into the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I just think we've talked all the time about like not letting your past define you, and taking it and growing from it. I mean, this team has competed. I mean, we obviously lost a tough one here last Thursday to Austin Peay, and it's really difficult to go on the road, be ready to play, and everyone came out. We fought. We gave ourselves a chance to win Saturday. And again, this group has never hung our heads. We built this team on togetherness, toughness, and trust, and I think that shined through today.
Yeah, Cam, you had multiple 3-point plays on those layups to the basket. How? It seems like you do it almost all the games, but does this one feel extra important, with the stakes towards the end of the conference play?
I mean, every game is the same, but going into last week, we want to get momentum going into the tournament. So making key plays, all players did that tonight. So it just gives us a boost and some confidence going into JU in the tournament. So we just got to keep harping on that.
Cam, it seemed like in the first half when you were struggling to get going a little bit, Dalton was the one to kind of take the brunt of the load for you guys. How big was Dalton's performance tonight for you?
It was huge. Like you said, when I was struggling, he made some big plays. And one thing that he did that, we've been struggling to come out of the second half, and the first thing he did was just get on us in the locker room, going into the locker room to come out the second half. And I think that's what gave us the energy that we needed to. I think we cut the lead down to 3. I don't think they scored in the first 3 or 4 minutes, if I'm correct. Just having him being a leader and him just, being able to make the big plays when we needed him was huge tonight.
Dalton, being a leader, how have you grown in that area throughout the season?
Kind of just being called to step in that role, just taking it head on and trying to get better every day.
You don't seem like the loudest guy either. Have you had to learn to kind of get all your teammates like that?
I'm generally a quiet guy outside when I'm playing basketball, so yeah.
Coach Jordan Ellerby, 0 points.
Wow.
Played like 13 minutes, dealt with foul trouble. What was the defensive assignment with him going into this matchup?
Actually, KJ started on him. That was the thing. Like he's a really good player. Like he's an elite freshman in our league. But I think we did a great job not only of kind of staying attached to him and not letting him get going, but our forwards also supported him. They like to run him off a lot of screens, a lot of pin downs, and we were there on the catch to be able to extend his catches and not let him get going. Sometimes you get in foul trouble. It's a tough night. But for us, like the thing I'm kind of proudest of my team. Like when it was tough for us, we just dug a little bit deeper, and kept going. But I thought our defensive effort was fantastic all night. Was both halves, and we just with our defensive effort, we gave ourselves a chance to have the offense catch up in the second half. I think it might have been. What was the run at the end of the half?
11-2.
11-2 at the end of the half. I don't think we scored the last two medias, but again, we came out and we didn't let that define us. We defended, we rebounded, we moved the ball, found shots, and we kind of chipped away.
Is the key trailing at halftime?
The key is having great players who believe in each other, who are committed to our process, who are committed to everything we've done. Here's the thing, like I don't even know what a record is, and that may not be a good thing. But I do know this. I do know that this team has shown up the same every single day. Like I don't know, and we have maybe one bad practice all year, maybe. And again, we haven't let the results define us at all. We've continued to work. We've continued to move towards our goals. And the great thing about this level is this league, like we got a chance to continue to write our own story. Like we have an opportunity, and let's get this one Saturday. Let's go into the tournament, and let's have that belief, that we can get where we want to go when we started together, 36 weeks ago now, almost.
Cam, what's the why for you guys as a team? What has made you guys stick with your belief throughout a tough season?
It's a great question. The why, we all come from different, Coach Kenneth said we all have a different, we get to the same destination, we all have different paths going there. And, from the jump, we all, talked about what our goal was, and it's to, win a championship, and that's still not over with, and it won't be until we get to the tournament. So just focusing on that, focusing on the process, and just, leaving it all out there. And as for me, like, it's kind of hitting me that, these are my two last UNF home games, so it's just like, just leave it all on the floor, and I'm sure Dalton feels the same way, and just, understanding that we have nothing, it's running down, we have 2 games left, there's nothing to keep in the tank, so just giving it all out there. I feel like that's what we're all doing right now.
Dalton, you have anything to build off that?
No, that was well said.
Bobby, senior day on Saturday. Nestor, Dalton, Cameron, Devin.
Yes.
How emotional is that going to be?
As a first-time head coach, like these guys have believed in me, they believe in our staff, they believe in what we're doing, they believe in our process, and I'll carry that through me, through the rest of my life, And I kind of shared a story. I started my day today. I get a text, I don't know, fairly early in the morning from Will Wilson. Okay, and Will's like, Coach, hey, do you have a minute? I need to talk to you for some advice. I need some advice. And we talked for about 30 minutes or so. And he's like, Coach, I can't believe, on game day that you're gonna give me this time that's important to me. And we've talked about from the very, very beginning, like it may not be where guys are with you for 4 and 5 and 6 years anymore, but they value their time, they respect the opportunity, respect this our department, our program, and what it affords them. And it just hit me today that, like, I coach for relationships. We all do. And regardless of these guys coming in, however long we have to impact their lives, I hope that I've impacted their life in a positive way somehow, and they're going to lean on this and they're going to draw from this experience of being here for the rest of their lives. And it's a little bit ironic, follow up on that. So Will Wilson was signed with the previous staff when we got here. So Coach and I, our first day on the job, we drove down there, we met with Will and his parents. The very next morning at 9 o'clock in the morning, the first recruit we stopped to see was David June. David June was here today. He was in the locker room with his beautiful daughters, and he was here. And his story is a little bit crazy, but he is like what Mason Lee did today. David June did for 4 years. Like, he was the ultimate glue guy, the ultimate team player. And again, it's just as you get to that point and you reflect on this on this thing, and for these guys, a lot of times this isn't the end for them. This isn't the end for them. They're going to continue to play if that's what they want to do. They're going to continue to contribute to whatever company hires them, whoever employs them. Like, they're going to do that, and I'm just hopeful that they're able to take what they've got here and roll with that for the rest of their lives.
Any more questions?
I do have one. Over 2,000 in attendance today. Final attendance number 2,156. Another electric crowd coming on Saturday. How much does that do for you guys?
It does a lot. Like Coach said before, like, the fans have been huge this year. Something that I'm grateful for. Them showing out. It helps us win. Like, down the stretch when teams are shooting free throws and they're hyping us up, or we're going on a run. Like, we live for those moments. So having that energy in the crowd is huge, and I've been thankful for it. So thankful for the fans for sure.
Playing at my old school to being here, like, it's a huge difference, and that first big crowd you get, it's like, holy moly, this is Division I. So just to be like able to live that, and the fans have been great here, and it's just a great experience, and hopefully we get a huge crowd on Saturday.
And I'll say one more thing. I've been doing an internship with the marketing team, and just seeing all the work that they've been doing, behind the scenes that no one sees, to engage the students and get them to come to the games has been huge. So just shout out to them.